So sorry for the inconvenience. Here is part 2 of my little top 5 list. I'm not gonna bother doing the whole thing. Here's The Winter's Residency. I'm Grim. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch that first, because this isn't gonna make a lick of sense. Jumping straight into it, my number 3 is the Clasp from Resident Evil Revelations 2. I'm unsure if it's supposed to be grasp or glass, because I got two differing things when reading up on the wiki a little bit, because I couldn't remember what these things were called. It's another thing that you have to deal with in the Growman and Nat's playthrough. The Growman, Barry. And Barry and Nat's playthrough in Revelations 2. Where these things are invisible. Like, straight up invisible. Like, you can't see them. You can hear them buzzing because they're so loud. Apologies if you can hear my cat. I don't know why she's being like this right now. It's another thing where Barry can't see something, but Nat can. And it's the worst thing there because you as Barry can't see it at all. You can't see it at all. You can hear it. Once Nat highlights it, you can, like, get an outline, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. But past that, you can't see it at all. Ever. And you have to rely on your friend or whoever playing this tiny little child to point out this thing so you can shoot it and live. Which sucks so bad. Why are we invisible now? There was no need for that. They're so annoying. Sometimes you can pinpoint them down by noise if the other person is, like, unable to get there in time to, like, point it out or whatever. But, like, oh my god. These huge things are invisible for what? I didn't read up on the wiki because I didn't want to know more about these gross little, not gross, I mean, not big, these gross, I mean, not little, these gross big things. You can tell how frustrated I am. I hate these things. The worst thing ever. They're humongous and invisible. Once you kill them, they're visible again. But, like, oh my god. Going straight into number 2. I mentioned this before in my first video. The Rascalpange. I still don't know if that's how you say it. Rascalpange, Rascalpange, whatever. I don't care. This thing from Resident Evil 6. When they're in China, I don't remember who you first encounter it as, because you encounter it in every single playthrough. This is an unstoppable force that you deal with in every single playthrough. No matter how many bullets you put into this thing, it cannot be destroyed. And if I'm remembering correctly, at one point, there's, like, several of them in a lab with you, and it sucks. These things, no matter how many bullets you put into it, maybe a limb or two, or, like, all of them will fall off. The hands, once the hands are attached, they can attack you. The legs, I swear to God, I remember a leg attacking me. Arm, probably. Head, probably. Torso, maybe. But it just constantly comes after you, and then it just pieces itself back together, and then all of a sudden you got this big thing just running after you around the streets, or in a lab, or wherever else this thing was. I can't remember. The worst thing to encounter ever. I have a deep hatred for this. Not as much as my deep hatred and fear of number 1, which we'll be getting to in a second, and I want to segue to that quick because I have a lot to say. Not really, I'm just going to be ranting a lot. I have a deep hatred for the Rascalpange. Really cool concept, but when it's hunting you down, good God, I pray for your hope and pray for safety. Pray to live, something. I don't know. I don't really care. Horrifying. I hate this thing. I hate it. I can vividly remember being hunted down by its hand one time while me and Yasmin were just running around trying to find, like, keys or something so we can get into a building and then progress the story. Everything, it's so long-winded while you're being hunted by this thing, and everything is such close quarters which is pretty cool. It's a really cool concept. But executed, it is actual torture. Finally, my number one, this is funny, my number one, the Reaper from Resident Evil 5. You know what sucks about this thing? It wasn't even made on purpose, it was an accident. African cockroaches were exposed to the Ouroboros virus, and they made Reapers. These things got their name by massacring like 17 trained professionals that were sent in to like get a sample or whatever. I don't care. What do you mean they're 7 feet tall? What do you mean they have like little cocoons on the ceiling and they just drop down on top of you because they're scary and horrifying and they want you dead for no reason? Ouroboros, they have reason, but not really. You get what I mean. What the hell? What the hell? Cockroaches? And what's even worse is Resident Evil 5, it's one of those games where while you're shooting, you can't move. I remember playing Ring Around the Goddamn Rosie with one of these things. And I almost lost. How do you lose Ring Around the Rosie? It was horrifying because you're running away from it as far as you can, and then you just have to stand still and shoot at it for a bit before you're like, oh man, I gotta go. I need to move so I can start shooting at it again. Instead of just shooting and moving at the same time. Because God forbid the game lets you do that. It's old, I get it. I'm not mad at Resident Evil 5 for that mechanic. It's old, I get it. However, you're leaving that mechanic there. And you're making me be chased by a 7-foot tall African cockroach? You're making me get chased by a cockroach that was infected by the Ouroboros virus. I'm definitely saying that wrong. The Ouroboros virus. It's chasing me down. It is hunting me down. You're making a cockroach hunt me down, and worse, it's 7 feet tall, and it just drops down from the ceiling from a cocoon or whatever. I'm trying not to curse too much. It just drops down from the ceiling from a cocoon and just gets me. And it's scary. It's scary. Look at its appendages. Look at its appendages. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. That's not horrifying to you? That is harrowing. Horrible. 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 The worst thing ever. If/when Resident Evil 5 is remade, you're telling me I'm gonna have to deal with 7-foot cockroaches that are in like 4K or something? Absolutely not. I forgot. You know what the worst part about the Reapers? I'm sorry, I was going to do an outro, but I just remembered. You know what the worst part about the Reapers is? They regenerate. That's why it's so hard to kill them. They take so many of your bullets because they rapidly regenerate their limbs and stuff. They rapidly regenerate. So they're the hardest things to kill ever. It's like normal cockroaches, I get it. Whatever. Are you kidding me? They're 7 feet tall and they can regenerate? Anyways. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed me yelling at a laptop with Ethan Winters speaking on a little program on your screen. You know, I hope you enjoy this. I do. There's not much more to say. Oh yeah, I do have my next videos lined up a bit, so hopefully I will get a schedule in turn and be cranking out more videos as time goes on. Our very next video will be about Carl Heisenberg. Just more so my thoughts on him, you know. Random stuff about his factory. More so, it's like a character analysis. It'll be like a little character analysis on Heisenberg, except I'm incredibly biased, very opinionated, and am assuming most of everything I'm saying, because we don't really have anything confirmed about his personality ever. So it's going to be my personal biased character analysis of Carl Heisenberg. Yeah. Tune in for that. That should be fun. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like if you haven't already, both of those. Turn on notifications so you can continue just hearing me rant, yap for a bit. And that is all. Thank you so much.